Hello, welcome to Miss Rose's Story Time. We've been reading in The Outsiders, Karen Moxley's class. This is your last week of school, and you had some questions for Miss Josephine Heilig about life in the 1950s. I know you addressed it as 1960s. However, the Greases and Socs was anywhere between mid-40s all the way to the early 70s. So she's going to tell you what she knows about Greases and Socs and that kind of era of the 1950s. So the first question they have for you is, what were the kids really like in that era?
In that era, the boys, they like greasing their hair and putting it back, and just like Fonzie, you know, if you've seen him on TV. And it was like that. We went to school. Well, we went to school, and most of the kids at that time, they came home and they had chores to do and things like that, because we didn't have like dryers for our clothes. So we had, and especially that I was a girl, I helped my mother when I came home from school. Either I had to go to the store and get something, or do some chores at home. And then when I got done, then we could play outside. Hide and go seek and things like that, because we didn't have a TV yet. The TVs came out when I was 12, and they were just a little tiny screen like this here, maybe 8 inches or something like that. And then after that, each year or a couple of years, they would improve the screens a little bit longer. But my dad didn't get one yet, and my mother, she stayed home and worked at home. At that time, just the men worked, and I think it was kind of good then, because the mothers were home, and when the children came home from school, they had somebody there to greet them and look after them if they didn't feel good or things like that. And I liked my mother being home. And then later on, as the years went by, then of course the designs changed a little bit, and the poodle skirts came out, and you wore 2 cans under a poodle skirt to make it real full, fluffed out. And the boys used to try to, at that time, get cars if they could, if their father could afford a used car. Most of the boys, they had used cars if they could, or maybe just one of them, and then their boyfriends, boys, would get into the car too and drive around and look, for pretty girls and that. And then we'd be friends at that time. Maybe we kind of liked each other and that, but you didn't get serious. You went to school. We had soda. We went to the soda fountain, and they played music with a jukebox. You put the money in a quarter. I think at that time it was 10 cents. And the hamburgers were only a quarter. And so we used to go out for a hamburger and pop. And we'd have parties. Once in a great while, somebody'd have a party, and we'd have pop and chips and that. But all the time, there was usually a parent home and to help with the party and make sure everything went out okay. Going to school, there was bullies and things too. Some, not as much as now, but I quit school when I was 16, and I went to work because I wanted to make some money. And of course, when I was 13, my first job was babysitting. But I just wanted to tell you, if somebody says anything to you that you don't like, don't pay attention to it. Try to put your mind into school and finish it. That's the best thing, because later on I had to finish it and get my GED, because I missed not going to school. I thought I wouldn't, and I always told myself I'm not going to regret it, but I did. And but put your mind to your school, because everything that's for the future of you. And So that's what I really wanted to tell you. And don't worry about, as long as you're neat and clean and have manners, don't worry about anybody saying anything that's negative.
How much did a soda or a hamburger cost, or gasoline?
Oh, gasoline was 25 cents and a hamburger was 25 cents. And of course, gasoline, that was extra. Used to have to do some chores, extra chores, and to get some money to buy gas, because even though it was only a quarter, things cost, that was a lot of money in those days too.
How did you have a telephone?
No, we didn't have no phone. We have to go to a payphone, a drugstore, on a quarter, had a phone, and we used to go there. And if we had to call somebody up and that, but like that, we did our homework and just played outside and had fun.
I don't know if a lot of these children even know what a payphone is. Now, I know there's one in Statesboro by Ollie's, that store Ollie's. There's
Yes.
a payphone there. It's not in use, but if you want to go see what a payphone was, there's one there for you to go look at.
Yeah, you had to put a quarter. Well, a quarter. Those days it was a nickel. You put a nickel in, and you got to talk to somebody on the phone, and that's the way it worked.
Did you have a curfew?
Yes, I had to be in the house at 9 o'clock.
Oh wow, 9 o'clock. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you didn't put grease in your hair, did you?
No, I didn't put grease in my hair, but we had scarves around our neck, tied up and things like that.
It says, what kind of clothes did you wear to school, at home, and to a party? Were they different?
Yes. To school, our dresses were just plain. We wore dresses that we didn't wear slacks. And
slacks, another name for pants?
Yes, pants. And we always had gym. We always played gym and had exercise to do, and we had to behave.
Did you live in the city or the country?
I lived in the city.
What did you wear to church?
Oh, a nice dress. We had like 2 nice dresses for church, and then for school they were nice too. But we only had a couple of those, like maybe 4. And if you wore one, it was clean. You hung it back up, and then you wore the other one next day.
So you rotated.
Yeah, we rotated.
Did you ever get into a fight with a Socs or a greaser?
I got into a fight with a girl one time, and the trick was that she got me down, and when she got me down, she hurried up and sat on me and grabbed my hair and pulled it and slammed it on the sidewalk. I forgot what it was about now.
Was anyone against smoking?
We didn't smoke, let's see. Yes, I didn't like smoking, but then I had a girlfriend, she tucked me in. I don't blame her, because it's my own mind, and that's how it goes. Don't let people tuck you into things. I choked on the smoke, when I was smoking, and she'll say, "Oh, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it." And I said, "I don't know about that," but yeah, I did. Cigarettes were hard to come by. She used to get one or so from her dad's pack, steal it, and that's how kids could do at that time. And a whole lot of kids didn't smoke then, though. But as I grew up, let's see, when I was 16, they did, more so. And then as I got older, because, too, watching it in the movies, TV has a lot to play a role in our lives. I never understood, well, Mom, they're saying this and that, and but look at the people laughing. So you think, oh, they're all laughing. They think it's funny. And it really wasn't. It wasn't a very nice thing to say. And what it was is they had a record or something with people laughing.
Like a recording?
So, yeah, like a recording. So they would think for you to think that people are laughing, and that's okay. But TV has a lot to do with our lives, and so you got to make your mind up how you want to grow up, you know.
Would you consider yourself a greaser or a soc?
I think I was more just a social person.
Well, I mean like soc, like not a greaser like leather jackets and jeans and all that, but more like the poodle skirts and stuff.
Yeah.
Back then, the socs were rich and the greasers were poor, but even though you were poor, you made sure you were neat and clean and you dressed nice, and so did your mom.
Yeah.
So just because you're poor doesn't mean you have to be a greaser.
Right. No. Later on, when I was 16, I liked wearing jeans. I wore jeans and shirts, and we wore boy shirts. I got my brother's shirt, and I tied it up in the
like
front.
A dress shirt, like your boys did.
Yeah, Sunday. It was a white Sunday shirt, and I used to tie it up. We'd roll the sleeves up and tie the bottom. We tie it in front of our stomach, and we thought we were pretty cool.
Were you divided in cliques, like groups, like one group and another group, and that group didn't get along with that group?
No, I liked everybody. I didn't really belong to any group. I just hung around with mostly people that, like, well, there was gangs, but I stayed away from that. I didn't want to belong to any of that.
What classes did you have?
Oh, I had history and math and at that time, we didn't do geometry yet. And that was the 8th grade. And we didn't have, I think we were going to do algebra, but our school was from 1 to 8th grade. No, kindergarten to 8th grade. And then if you graduated the 8th grade, then you went to the 9th grade, you went to high school. The high school had 9, 10, 11, and 12. And that seemed like that was pretty good.
What music and movies did you listen to and watch?
Well, I Love Lucy came on, and things like funny stuff mostly. They didn't have no swearing or no nudity or no nothing that was a couple wasn't married, and they didn't show any of that. And I think that's a good part. I think TV has gone too far. And what else do we have to look forward to? You know, in life then, if you live too fast.
So that's all their questions. What else would you like to tell the class?
Oh, well, the only thing I can say is I discovered God when I was a teenager. And I was wondering, you know, sometimes kids do, because you don't see it, right? But you don't see the wind either.
When you were a child, though, God meant the Christian God. Now when people say God, it can mean lots of different gods. So what type of God are you talking about?
Oh, I'm talking about a Christian God, because I figured who else would suffer on the cross as much as that man did. Don't forget, he was part human. And he felt that pain. He could have got out of it, but he wouldn't. He suffered for our sins. And he did it because he wanted to show you. Look at all the years now, and we still believe in Jesus. Thank you very much for listening to me, and God bless you, and take care of yourself, and don't let nobody bully you.
Thank you so much.